maybe even have some players raise their trade value, maybe be more active at the trade deadline, right? That's some things that the Bulls could go to. Or do they want to do a shift, right? And I talked last night after DeAndre Ayton was waived about the Bulls potentially, calling DeAndre Ayton to see if he would have interest in joining the Bulls. A younger center that kind of fits their timeline that they could take a 1-year flyer. I'm not saying long-term, 1-year flyer on. If it works, great. If not, you can give him an opportunity to rehab his value before he goes back out on the market in the summer of 26. And then the Bulls could try to find their center of the future. But that would have to come via one of the centers here at least being traded. And I don't know if I see that happening, right? But other options that are on the free agent board as far as potential players that the Bulls could sign out in free agency, if it is a center that they're looking after. I've seen a thing that said Clint Capella. God, I hope not. Now, Clint Capella would be the lob threat that the Bulls theoretically need, but like Clint has been on a decline. But Mo Wagner, for example, had his option declined by the Orlando Magic. And while it is expected that he's going to re-up with the Orlando Magic on a more long-term deal, I would still probably make a call once free agency opens if he's not yet announced a re-signing with the Orlando Magic. I'd definitely be reaching out there. Day'Ron Sharpe is a guy that we talked about earlier in the offseason as well, while not necessarily bringing some of the height that Bulls fans want to see, because for so many Bulls fans, it's all about, we have to have a 7-foot center. We have to have, if he's not 7 feet, what are we doing? But, DeAndre Ayton, who brings a lot of the kind of defensive mentality that you would want from your center for the Chicago Bulls, that I do think fits with the style of play, fits with the roster that we have there as well. You're looking at Day'Ron Sharpe there as a potential player that the Bulls could go after as well. And that really kind of, maybe Santi Aldama, but, Santi Aldama being 24 years old, but I felt a little iffy on that. I do think he's also probably going to be more expensive, but he is a restricted free agent. The Memphis Grizzlies are probably going to match anything that he gets as well. Jackson Hayes, no. Now watch me say that, and then as the free agency opens, we hear that the Bulls are meeting with Jackson Hayes. Watch that happen. But, we'll see. The center options aren't very many, and because of that, there are a lot of teams going all over the same center option, so I don't know how much the Bulls are willing to get into a bidding war. For those that don't know, the Bulls, after re-signing Josh Giddey, they'll have roughly about $36 million, closer to $40 million to play with out below the first tax apron. That gives them the ability to use their full mid-level exception. They have a $17 million trade exception that they can use as well during that time. They have another $3 million trade exception as well. So they have some options. The Bulls, if they want to be more active, and that includes trades with expiring contracts, that includes financial flexibility under the first tax apron. If the Bulls want to be more active, they have the pathway to be there.